Hello, Denifil Phouse guests. I'm talecia vescio, and welcome back to the podcast. Now, unzip your platform docs, clip your keys to the communal carabiner, and have some fucking decorum. It's not just a phouse. It's a phome. Now, are you a goth, a girl, a gay, or a geek? Perhaps you identify with all of them and your life is just one big crossover episode. This Venn diagram is inked into the tomes of ye old funny lore and holds secrets. Secrets to finding your people. And that's like the true essence of the phandom. And that's what this episode's all about. Speaking of fruity, fun, and bubbly, you're gonna love the sponsor of the series, Jose Cuervo Tequila. If you're new here, throughout this episode, fannies from all around the world are gonna be calling into the Jose Hotline. Exactly. There's some really beautiful fan experiences coming up, so stick around. Every caller is actually going to have a chance to win a Denifil gift pack curated by me. I'm going to include some of the new Jose Cuervo flavors for you to try. So every time someone talks about the fandom, it goes one of two ways. Option one, a total rando that has never kind of set foot in the house before. They watched 10 minutes upload from 2014 for like research, and they tend to talk about us with like bitter distaste and judgment. The other version of the story is usually told by a fan, either current or post-mortem, who is kind of like speaking through their own cringe and shame, confessing on behalf of a distant version of themselves and rejecting it in real time, giving internalized fanny phobia. And I feel like it's kind of like a hard watch for me, and probably for a lot of us. It feels like we're being sat down and told off. And that kind of sucks when you're having the most fun you've ever had. No. I think there's a lot of misconceptions about us. We're all intense and annoying and like not cool. Not to mention the don't cry craft trauma that completely obliterated the YouTube comments and made the platform fucking unusable for years. Like, yeah, we are that, but we're also more than that. I wanted to make something that represents the full spectrum of the fandom. The dynamics, the unwritten rules, the friendships, the fuck-ups, the way it all coexists and how it's always coexisted. First up on the Jose Hotline, Mothman Bussy! It's Mint from Canada.
I like being an internet clown with other internet clowns who have the same strange fixation on two bigger internet clowns.
Pro tip!
It's fun to shit memes into the void and make art, and I've even accidentally found some really good friends on here.
To be known is to be loved, and to be loved is to converge.
Linguistics degree.
Calen, thoughts?
I've definitely been influenced in my sense of humor, the way that I talk, and some of the words that I use. I'm allowed to say sidewalk and cappuccino.
Microwave.
Silly things aside, I'm trying to be more open-minded, let things go, be a breezy Susan, as Phil says. And that is a work in progress.
The fuck? I'm gonna start crying already. What the hell? This is actually cooked. Jamie from Europe.
What I see in terms of change are the demographics. Used to be a lot of straight girls, and now many of us are lesbians or gay trans men.
Hands up, who used to be a straight girl, thought they were going to marry Dan Howell, and now kind of wants his gender. Oh, we have one now. Here's one I prepared earlier. It's Min on the hotline.
You can just kind of go and hang out with people that are also like you and just be like really stupid and silly and cringe. Being cringe is really nice. It feels kind of like a little bubble of safe that you can like pop into.
Bubble of safe, I love that.
Holy shit. Oh, I want to cry.
Denifil have kind of become everyone's muse.
Shut up! Dan Howell will need to get off the sea. It's evil Dan Howell. We need to get on the sea. We need to get off the sea. We're deep in the sea.
The video is really just like a jumping off point. Rosie is on the Jose Hotline.
I spend most of my time basking in everyone else's creativity. The speed of output, unmatched.
After a upload, it's like the best fucking thing ever. Floods of memes and art and just like ridiculous behavior. And that's what keeps it going. That's what keeps the fandom fed, you know? We've somehow managed to actually build like a proper community. Em's called us to tell us what that means to her.
I've always felt like a little bit too weird, a bit too intense for a lot of spaces in the group, but not quite. And I think that that is a super common experience in the fandom. Is somebody going to match my freak? Everyone's matching each other's weird and everyone's intensity and everyone's passion. Since everyone feels a bit like an outsider, no one really is.
I immediately feel more at ease in like a predominantly queer, neurodiverse, alternative space. I feel like I don't need to be as like hyper cautious with my words and my my actions or low-key exhaust myself just to like function in a certain way. Neither Dan or Phil are like outwardly neurodivergent, and they famously weren't gay until 2019, but we can see ourselves in their geek and their goth. And like, we don't need to be the same kind of alt divas to relate to one another. And I feel like that's super beautiful. Elsa's called up.
Everyone can be like very intense about their interests and very queer about them, and I think that's also kind of encouraged by Dan and Phil.
I am one of you.
Phil talking about writing Buffy fanfiction.
It was all about Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
And Dan talking about being an editor on the Lost Wiki.
Which is how down bad I am. Like, that's how in the trenches I've been.
We've all had these super intense interests that we just feel so happy and strong about.
It makes me cry. The 4Gs of the Fopocalypse rode at dawn for tit.
Hashtag tit, it happened. It happened.
It was almost too powerful to have every facet of Little Freak converge in one theatre, but it happened and it was glorious. We have Avalon from Australia, and fun fact, Avalon was the first person to find and distribute the news that I was interviewing Dan and Phil. That's the butterfly effect.
I wear my bracelets literally every single day. This is just a couple of the ones I got from Tit and from like trading photo cards and stuff. I'd wear them as a reminder of my experience with the show and with the fandom because it changed my life. It was amazing. Being able to openly talk to people and make friends there, it's genuinely like improved my confidence so much, and I feel so much happier now, like in general. Tit and like the sort of joy that the fandom brings me in was like a huge turning point for me. So I love Dan and Phil.
Guys, it's fucked up. This kind of feels like an insane comparison, but when I was at the Eras tour, I was also trading bracelets. Obviously, I was having fun, but I was like fanging for the show. The stadium full of people, it just wasn't the reason I was there. I was waiting for that blonde lady.
My name's Sabrina. It's so nice to meet you.
And then for the entire 6.5 hours, however long the fucking show was, our eyes were just glued to the stage. Something that I noticed at Dan and Phil, anytime anything happened, everyone was looking left and right, experiencing it together, making sure that everyone else was having fun or like believing what they were seeing. Like, I don't know exactly. It felt connected in a way that it didn't feel like at the Eras tour. Like, I was seeing Taylor Swift, but like we were seeing Dan and Phil. And like when I was hanging out with the divas that I just met at TIT, we were trading photo cards and bracelets, little stickers and zines and stuff from super talented artists, like it literally didn't matter if Dan and Phil even fucking showed up. Ring ring. Kai is on the hotline.
I've been in a lot of fandom spaces. I think my first convention I was 11 or 12. But I think the fandom with a PH is a very unique experience. I don't think I would care as much, like lovingly, about Dan and Phil if it wasn't for the fandom space around them.
Now, we joke and we jest, and we gently bully the fuck out of them.
Who is ready for some bullying/fun?
But something that stitches the fandom together in more ways than one is that Dan and Phil were often there when other people weren't. This next call to the Jose Hotline kind of blew me away, and it really made me reflect a lot on this particular episode. I think that we can often undersell the impact that representation and exposure really have on us, especially when we're growing up. This is Elvenia.
I was in an extremist Christian cult until I was 18 years old. I was about as sheltered as you can get, with restrictions on the media I watched, the people I was friends with, and the thoughts I had. All of my interests as a child were required to be heavily censored and deemed appropriate by the church for me to be allowed to engage with them. I learned to hide my interests at a very young age because I knew if I was honest about it, I would be banned from ever watching or even thinking about them again. I found Phil's channel when I was about 10 years old in 2013. He was one of the first YouTubers I ever watched. Phil's channel meant a lot to me because I knew I could show my family a video here or there and not immediately have it taken from me.
When you don't have access to people outside your immediate bubble, it's really easy to become insular and like scared of the unknown. So many of us can relate on some level, putting physical distance between you and a life that doesn't represent you. Whether that's moving to the big city, you change your name, your pronouns, your gender, your hair, and you're in search of yourself and like a safe place to land. And I think a lot of people found that in Dan and Phil and the fandom. Dot from the US has called the Jose Hotline.
Being in this community is like being able to escape my everyday life, and use a different name and just connect with people around the world who truly understand me and accept me for who I am, even though I'm not really able to express myself the same way in my personal life.
Next up is Sweet Jace from Australia.
As a queer trans person, the fandom is the only space that I have at the moment where I can be myself. I go by my chosen name and pronouns. No questions asked, welcomed with open arms, talking about Dan and Phil. I've never had anything like that, and I'm 31 years old. Going to We're All Doomed in Brisbane was my first pride.
What the fuck, Jace? The fandom has become more than just people who are fans of Dan and Phil. On its best days, it's the home of your chosen family. Heather from the UK has called us up.
I have had a difficult 2 to 3 years. I've managed to get my life back on track with the support of the fandom. You gave me, I felt like, a purpose for the first time in a while. I can't thank the fandom or Dan and Phil enough. You guys, you changed my life.
It's really nice. Jamie is back on the Jose Hotline to tell us how the fandom helped them out.
The fandom is my support network. During my most dire times, it's members of the fandom who were the people that could slide me some money just so that I could buy dinner, which is very special to me, extremely special.
Proper, tangible support from people who really give a shit. It makes you a better friend, a better artist, a better person, and just makes you believe in yourself. Guys, what the fuck? Am I reading this right? Destiny Halter? Gagged.
It's given me a chance to get back into makeup and body painting. I was like, oh, okay, so people do actually like this. And then obviously Fan Twitter 3 happened and Dan and Phil saw it, which was insane to me.
Oh, that's
the
great.
amazing tourist on fire.
Incredible. Yes.
Oh, okay, with the introverts branding.
That's
We've got the
sexy.
red neon.
Wow.
We've got the Dan Doomed Eclipse Meteor. And then the okay, we're going all across the chest.
I never would have had the chance to if I wasn't in this space, so it means like a hell of a lot to me.
Talk to you later.
Full-time internet homo.
Homotron 3000 and his business partner were so right when they said that the fandom is full of talented artists, prolific writers. It's kind of sick that they are number one fanny trash because they high-key used to hate us. YouTubers felt like our friends. They felt way too accessible. And there weren't rules and social norms like there were for pop stars. We didn't realize that we were crossing a line because there wasn't one. YouTubers at the time didn't realize that they had to draw one. Like Phil filming out the window of their Manchester apartment. Like he didn't realize he had to hide that.
Why didn't we walk out the front door, film it, and put it on YouTube?
There was definitely some shit that was not okay. There's videos we never should have watched. There's family members that should have been left the fuck alone. Nobody should have rung their doorbell and nobody should have been knocking down the door of the closet. We all know that now.
Boundaries didn't exist back then.
No.
We just had dedicated fans with Google Maps.
We got Liz on the Jose Hotline.
YouTubers and the fans grew up together, learned together, and I think more importantly, forgave together, which I think is so important in fortifying the foundations of this really important safe space for so many people.
The fandom changed when Dan and Phil did. The dynamic between us and them shifted for the better. Everyone had way more clarity, and without the hard reset of the hiatus, we just wouldn't have what we have now. People are able to be more critical now of DNP and of our own behaviour, and that's how we get to have the good stuff and how we get to look back with a fondness and embrace the cringe. Drew from the Philippines is called the Hotline.
Cringing at my past self isn't something that I hate so much anymore thanks to them.
Talia from Australia is also on the hotline.
To look at my younger self and just give her a pat on the back as opposed to looking back on my younger self and wanting to curl up in a ball.
Fuck, real. Celeste from the US has called the Jose Hotline.
I found joy and happiness in things that weren't considered normal, but I think Dan and Phil, for all their self-deprecation and allergy to sincerity at times, have made a point to consistently validate the past. Who am I to tell my younger self that the things she loved were cringe or embarrassing or weird?
It's like such a gentle lens to like look at your life through. We are so used regards to erasing our previous eras, but like to actually stand 10 toes down and be like, that was all me too, is like kind of fucking iconic actually. Even Dan and Phil reacting to their old content and laughing at things that they probably would have cringed at, or they kind of are still cringing at, but they're like, no wait, we landed that joke. Like that was actually really funny. That is a very healing experience for everyone.
Phil's not on fire. It's camp.
It's culture.
It's post-ironic.
Yeah.
I don't believe that the fandom exists in like a now versus then. As much as we all like to pat ourselves on the back and talk about how pretty and well adjusted we are and how much we've grown, stop lying. Norah from Norway is on the Jose Hotline telling the truth.
I don't think we've changed that much.
They cannot lie.
Oh, you remembered it?
I didn't remember it. I just did it. That's even worse.
You are the same person.
There are things that we would lose our minds over 13 years ago that we're still losing our minds over. Do we really have a reason to? Not really. We do it anyway. It's tradition.
And who are we to break that? We've opened the floodgates. We've given ourselves permission to be excited, but we've also become emboldened to fucking whinge about everything. The rolls of tape that are inside your doomed caps from IRL merch are holding the shape of the fucking cap, and without that, the cap would be squished and lose the magic, and it wouldn't solve the migraines. They're literally recycling. They're like, what do we have? What do we have that we can make the caps stand and like be caps? I think it's pretty smart actually. For all their flaws, fuck up about the tape. From New Zealand, it's Max.
Even if we spend so much time complaining about merch, at the end of the day, we're going to come together and we're going to be like, oh my God, I got my new merch. Oh my God, I went to see the tour. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. The internet can be kind of crazy sometimes. There's so much love and joy here.
Guys, Max is really nice. Time is the best thing that has happened to the OG fans of Dan and Phil. Like, we all kind of got to become fully formed human beings. Emily, take it away.
Someone works at NASA, like everyone's living their lives, but we still have this sort of like link that brings everyone back together at the end of the day. It's like, what's your 5 to 9 after the 9 to 5? It's like, mine's Dan and Phil Twitter.
What about that diva that's always in the fucking mines? Lesbian Dan is, in fact, not on the Jose Hotline. They're probably in the mines. Ooh, it's hot. Our final call to the Jose Hotline is Bridget. Splinges is her government name. We are ending on this one because it kind of made me cry the first time I heard it. So fuck you and your burnt nerdy plushies.
Growing up can look like whatever you want it to look like. And growing up doesn't have to mean growing out of any interests or hobbies. You don't have to lose any part of yourself just because you're getting older. Watching them continue to find, creative fulfillment and peace and enjoying their hobbies and interests has really inspired me to feel like I can do the same in my adult life and I can achieve that same level of peace and fulfillment eventually. And watching them grow up through the years has made me excited to grow up as well.
Oh no. No, I thought I was gonna make it. So that's kind of the theme of the next episode. We're gonna explore the power of light entertainment and how embracing the void gives us the courage to exist. We're all gonna cry. It's probably gonna be fucked. Big shout out to Jose Cuervo for being cute and fun and sponsoring the series. And if you missed episode 1, go back, catch up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.